GolfNewsRI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. I'm Joe Calabro. Thanks for tuning in. This is the second to last episode of the year. Believe it or not, it's unbelievable how time flies when you're having fun. So this will be the second to last episode of the year. We'll have a podcast next week, and then that will be it. Obviously, we won't have a podcast the week between Christmas and New Year's, barring something crazy happening. You never say never, and it's always a possibility. But the plan is to not have one that week. But again, you never really know. You never say never for sure. So that's the plan. So in theory, this is the second to last podcast of the year, and it's been an exciting year for sure. Been an interesting year. We broke some big stories, reported on, covered some cool things, great local tournaments, the Northeast Amateur, etc. So next year it'll be a bit of a year in review type of thing. We'll of course have our year-end content on GolfNewsRI.com. So we'll do the 10 biggest stories of the year. You know, probably some video features and things like that. So we'll have tons of end of the year content coming up, which is always fun. It's always fun to look back at the year and see the stories you reported on and what people's reaction to it all was. So that's coming up. As well. I'll be starting probably mid next week or so, or thereabouts. So looking forward to all that. Obviously, this week in review, we had a big story on Winnapaug golf course down in Westerly, and then we also had the RI Golf Hall of Fame ceremony and dinner on Tuesday. So we'll get into that. We'll play you the package with the Adamonis brothers that GolfNewsRI put together. So we'll have that for you coming up shortly, and some other notable things from that event. GolfNewsRI was there for a short time. Excuse me. But we start with the Winnapaug story. We put the story up on Monday, I guess December 11th, and obviously it was previously reported by the Westerly Sun. We sourced them for pretty much everything in the story, just about, other than the quotes we got from Ed Rosamondo of the Keep Westerly Green Group. So we probably sourced the Westerly Sun too much because a lot of it was public information, and I just couldn't. I mean, I'm not good at this stuff, so I just couldn't find the said public information. And we wanted to get something up quickly. It was news. We wanted to have something. So anyway. Obviously pretty passionate subject among people in Westerly. Jeff Marone of the UIB party, they live down, him and Austin both live down in Westerly in that area, and they both said it's kind of the talk of the town. It's a big deal, as one would expect. And so if you didn't see the story, it's up on GolfNewsRI.com. Again, we sourced the Westerly Sun for a good portion of it, but the plan is to build 2,300 housing units on the course, and they expect to file a plan early in 2024. A proposal early in 2024. So if you look at the blueprint that was put out by Wynn Properties and Keep Westerly Green, it's hard to see how a golf course is going to be able to fit in there anywhere in that property. So in theory, it could be the end of Winnapaug, which obviously is very controversial. And it's another Donald Ross course. I've never been there. I hear it's very nice. It was interesting to me is last year, and we put a story about how Jack Nicklaus's company was going to take it over and renovate it and put hotels and make it like a nice area. I could see what the actual plan was. A new clubhouse, pro shop, restaurant, banquet hall, among other things. But then that all went away later that year in November of 2022 with the Westerly Town Council when they denied Winnapaug the zoning ordinance that they needed. So it's how we went from there to where we are now is a complete 180 pretty much. And so well, we'll see. Obviously, this is very in the very early stages. I mean, just to me, just looking at it, and I don't know anything about the development, but I have talked to some people off the record, of course, but I have talked to some people about it, and they think this is a massive undertaking as far as development projects go. It could take. Somebody told me it could take 15 years just to get this all kind of permitted out. Again, I don't know necessarily how this all works or what exactly the process is. Obviously, I'm somewhat familiar with it. We dealt with it a little bit with the Metacom situation. This is not the same situation as that, obviously, but similar. So the plan is to have 690 affordable units and 1,160 market rate units across the 120-acre golf course. So plus you have to factor in driveways and obviously streets. You need a street to get to all these places, all these different houses. So it seems like a big undertaking. We'll see what happens when the proposal is officially filed, or if the proposal is officially filed in 30 days or less. But at the moment, it seems like Rhode Island will be in danger of losing another golf course. So that is where we are. Obviously, a very passionate subject. We have people commenting on the article on our website from the Keep Westerly Green group, and somebody who kind of opposed the Keep Westerly Green group. The comments are really interesting to read. They're pretty long, so I'm not gonna read them here. But one person commented, Don Botts commented, kind of calling out Keep Westerly Green for, according to him, opposing the original proposal, which included Jack Nicklaus's company. And then people from the Keep Westerly Green group replied to him. So they kind of went back and forth. It's interesting to read again. I'm not going to read the comments here. They're pretty long. And no one wants to see me read off my phone necessarily. But you can go on the website and find them. There's also tons of comments, obviously, on Facebook and social media. Again, it's similar to Metacom. It's a big issue. It's going to be a big talking point going into the new year. And there will certainly be more to come, one way or the other. So that is where we are with the Winnapaug situation. And again, it's still developing. There's still a ways to go. And as Rosamondo told us, it's not a done deal. It's not over yet. So although it seems gloomy in his terms, but that is the Winnapaug situation that we covered earlier this year. And we'll keep track of that as best as we can going forward. Again, it would be a shame for Rhode Island to lose another golf course, another Donald Ross golf course. That'd be two now, with obviously this one in Metacom. So we'll keep an eye on it for sure and keep track of what is going on with that project. Again, no permits have officially been filed that we know of to this date. So we'll keep track of that. So there's that. So that was the Winnapaug situation, which we started the week off with, and we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. So, but it is interesting. It is interesting. The whole situation, the back and forth, and where they were a year ago to where they are seemingly now. So there's that. On Tuesday, we attended the RI Golf Hall of Fame dinner at Kirkbride. They did let me in the building, believe it or not. For those of you that know the inside story, you'll appreciate that. And it was certainly interesting. It was great to talk to the Adamonis. We did I did a cool interview with Paul Kenyon, the legendary golf writer, which you can find on GolfNewsRI.com. He didn't want to do video. Obviously, he didn't want to do video, so I just did an audio recording, and I just wrote the article up. So check that out on GolfNewsRI.com. But we did chat with the Adamonis brothers, Dave and Brad Adamonis, and we put a little package together, which we ran on Tuesday night, and we'll run that for you right now. So here we are with Dave and Brad Adamonis at the RI Golf Hall of Fame ceremony at Kirkbride Country Club. Enjoy.
For my dad, I think, from my perspective, for my father, I think it's a long time coming that he's been recognized. His contributions extend really beyond Rhode Island Golf. For me, this is really about him. This is about celebrating him. He's the one who dug all the trenches and really made the Challenge Cup a reality. So it's a really cool night for us. Obviously he's not here with us in person, but he's here with us watching over, and it's really cool for us.
For me too, it's great to see Dave get recognized. The Challenge Cup. When my dad started, it was one tournament, and then it kept growing. And then when Dave took over, I went to a whole new level. And 40 kids, they had 40 tournaments. For me, as a professional, I have guys all the time come up to me and they ask about Dave, which is amazing. Like PGA Tour players, main tour players, anybody really. And they just talk about what a great program it is, and how all the values of golf and how help one another out.
I always say that my dad has the best seat in the house, whether he's watching Brad at a tournament or he's watching what's going on with what we do. So I feel like he's always a guiding light. Right now the USGA has a great initiative that they're about to embark upon, and Massachusetts is actually they're going to have a pilot program that they're going to start this year with an initiative that they have to have a U.S. Junior team, like a lot of these other countries, Australia, Sweden, etc. That looks like a pretty cool opportunity down the road for the kids.
All right, there's the Adamonis brothers from Tuesday night. Obviously, that was the edited version. It was edited for kind of a package type deal. We'll be releasing more clips. There was more to the interview, more to their answers. We might just release the whole thing straight up. But it was cool to talk to them as always, and very insightful, and certainly their dad had a lot to do with it, who they credit a lot in that interview, as you saw. So thanks to them for doing that. It was a good event. We were there. I was there for the media availability around 5:30, and then I stayed for a little bit of the cocktail hour, and then I snuck out. But got to chat with Bobby Leopold for a little while, which is always good. They're gonna have four rounders going down for the Gasparilla Championship, or the Gasparilla Invitational that we've been covering from afar every year. Leopold, Tyler Cook, Larry LaFauci's in the group this year, and Mike Hamilton. So that's in February. So I got the inside scoop on that. All four of those guys are excited to go down. I talked to Larry LaFauci as well. He had another great year, and I did wish Bobby Leopold a happy birthday. Just let it be known. So that's coming up in February. So looking forward to that. 4 Rhode Islanders going down for that big tournament. So that'll be fun. For sure. It always looks like a cool event. Mike Hamilton tells me all the time that it's such a cool event to go to or to play in. So we'll look forward to that. And also got to chat with Max Jackson a little bit, talked about a soccer championship and everything. So they're getting ready. They're gearing up for another title run in the LaSalle golf team. And he said pretty much now it's all golf straight through college, right? His soccer career is over. So so talked to a bunch of people, saw some faces, and it was a good event. What was interesting was Brad Faxon showed up in support of probably Adamonis brothers and Kenyon. So it was good to see. It was cool to see him there. Billy Andrew wasn't there. I'm sure he's exhausted coming off of the World Champions Cup event. But it was good to see Faxon there. It was interesting with both him and Carl Augustine at the event. Obviously, they're, as most of you probably know, they're in court right now, battling over the funds for battling over how the money is divided, basically, for the Metacomet situation, and they're on kind of opposite sides of the battle. So that was kind of an interesting, and nothing happened, of course. So I'm not trying to say something happened. Nothing happened. It was just an interesting dynamic there for a few minutes when they were in kind of the same general area. But so that was a interesting thing to watch. Again, nothing happened, but it was certainly a interesting couple of minutes for sure. So, and we're still waiting for the Superior Court case the decision to be announced. The case was back in like October, I think. And we're still waiting for that decision. So hopefully it comes out shortly so we can, one, we can get the story, but two, we can kind of move on in some way. So there's that. That's what happened at the Hall of Fame thing. So that is kind of the news that we have going on. Alpine finished their bunker renovation, which we reported. I think that was last week, but either way. And then, so check out the video. You can find that on GolfNewsRI.com as well. And of course, this weekend, we have Tiger Woods in action at the PNC Championship with his son, Charlie. Always a fascinating, always a fun event to watch on TV. Apparently, the weather is going to be terrible. That's what they're saying. So I don't know if they're going to get it in or what they're going to do. But supposedly, the weather's going to be terrible down in Florida this weekend. So it's not looking promising. But for now, it seems like everything is full go. I know they had a Pro-Am today. Tiger and Charlie are playing the Pro-Am tomorrow on Friday. And I'm sure Golf Channel is going to have coverage of it. So always a cool event for sure. And everybody will be looking forward to watching that. So that is kind of what's going on in the game of golf. Of course, there's still fallout from the John Rahm situation. He's not now, apparently he said he's not allowed to go to any public events until the LIV season starts. He's not to do any more interviews or anything like that. So, I guess that's kind of the price you pay to go to LIV. So that's odd. Sportico, I think Wednesday reported that the PGA Tour's legal fees are more than $20 million now. They went from $2 million to $20 million in like a year because of the legal battles with LIV. So, and they also reported on Jay Monahan's salary and everything. So pretty interesting article. Again, there's been reports that the PGA Tour is really struggling financially to kind of keep up with legal bills. That's part of the reason why they went into negotiations with PIF. So all that, there's still more fallout from that. We reported on Saturday. I think it broke on Friday, but we reported on Saturday. So I don't know. So whatever it was, either way, we reported about the Wells Fargo tournament Wells Fargo sponsorship going away. So interesting times on the PGA Tour. They are seemingly in a world of, I don't want to say trouble, but they're in a world of hurt. Dan Rappaport has reported that it's kind of a mess. There's a group of players, most of whom are at the bottom of the tour. None of the top guys that I saw are involved, but there's a legal. They put together like a legal documents to try to get more information from the PGA Tour about where it's going and what the deal is, probably so they can figure out what they're going to do. So that's been something to keep an eye on. So it seems like quite a mess at the moment. And the PGA Tour season starts obviously in January down in Hawaii. Some rumors of players who were going to go to LIV. Tony Finau was a big rumor, and he confirmed that he's going to stay on the PGA Tour. He's going to play in the Century Championship and everything else. So, and he tweeted #I'm not leaving. So that went away. Seems like Victor Hovland was rumored, but I believe he put an end to that by committing to the Century Championship, Century Tournament of Champions. Didn't necessarily move. Unless these guys are just delaying until they want to play in these tournaments. then they're gonna commit closer to when, you know, the live season starts, which is in February. So that certainly could be a possibility. So, you know, don't put too much stock into it, but at least for now, they're staying. We'll see what happens. So professional golf is quite a mess, it feels like at the moment. And the deadline is coming up for the negotiation with the PIF. The PGA Tour also announced that they're negotiating with kind of collection of sports team owners, including, you know, the John Henrys, Wick Grossbeck is in the mix, and a few other guys, a handful of guys with, you know, Fenway Sports Group. So they're also negotiating with them as far as, you know, to help get funding and different things. So it's really quite a time to be involved in professional golf or to be covering professional golf. You're covering more legal situations. It seems like you're covering more legal situations than you are actual golf at the moment. Now, granted, it is the off season, but still. So that is what is going on. Again, next week will be the last show of the year, tentatively. As you never say never, but that is the plan. So we'll be taking a break of some sort, at least podcast wise, not content wise. There'll be content up all the time. But so yeah, so that is what we got. So listen, thanks to everybody for tuning in to the show. Really appreciate all your continued support. Thank you to everyone again who bought merch. This is the third straight show I've thanked everybody, but now it's starting to come in. Be sure to post the merch on social media, tag us, tag me. That way we can share it and spread the word. So yeah, so thanks to everybody. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And yeah, that's awesome. So thanks everybody. Again, have a great rest of your Thursday. Have a great weekend. And also, real quick, good luck to everybody. There's no Rhode Islanders, but good luck to everybody playing in the final stage of PGA Tour Q School down at TPC Sawgrass. I believe the final round's gonna be televised on Golf Channel on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, with that said, now we're really done with the show. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you next week, the pre-Christmas Golf Dudes podcast. Should be fun. Have a great weekend, everybody.